What's going on YouTube? Today I'm here to discuss a series of recent changes that Epic Games has been making into Fortnite Battle Royale. And I'm going to be real with you, these changes are kind of ruining the game, not only for me, but for many other people that used to enjoy this game so much. Die-hard fans who couldn't wait to get home from school just to play this game. These series of changes is what I call the spray meta. So without further ado, let me get right into it. Now, before I start bashing Epic Games, let me just say that every game throughout human history that's been successful, it became successful because it had a good skill gap. In other words, the good and the bad players are easily distinguishable from each other. Call of Duty, Halo, Fortnite up until 1 month ago, all these great games had this skill gap that I speak of. An example of this in, say Call of Duty is the kill streaks. In Call of Duty, whenever you get a certain number of kills in a row on the battlefield, you can unlock a helicopter, you could get a UAV, you could call in dogs, something else to give you another huge advantage on the map, as if being a superior player evident by your kill streak isn't enough. Another example of the skill gap is in Call of Duty, whenever you reach a certain level for playing the game more than other people, you can get better weapons, better equipment, better grenades, better everything basically. So those things contribute to the skill gap, and those things contribute to the good players being more distinguishable from the bad players. And Fortnite was doing this better than any other game throughout human history. Whenever I tell you that Fortnite was taking over the world, I'm not exaggerating one bit. Just go on any Facebook page and see how many parents are complaining that their kids' lives are consumed by Fortnite, that their kids keep wanting to use their credit card to buy virtual skins for a free game. I'm telling you, Fortnite really is taking over the world. And the two things that made Fortnite as great as it was, the two things that created this previously unseen before skill gap was first and foremost, the building. No shooting game before Fortnite had something like building, something seemingly so simple yet could turn a bad player into a god, someone who couldn't aim for shit. Okay, I'm sorry for my language, but someone who couldn't aim very good could instantly become a really good player just by building fast. They could build to the high ground and be shooting from a higher elevation than the person shooting back at them. It don't matter how good of aim you have. If you're on the low ground shooting at someone who's shooting you from above, you're probably not going to win that fight very often. So that was huge. Another thing that also made the skill gap very big is the use of the shotguns. Now obviously shotguns are harder to use than machine guns, because machine guns you can shoot 30 times in a matter of seconds, and if you miss half your shots it don't matter, you can still probably get the kill. With shotguns, if you miss you're probably going to die, so you can't afford to miss when you're using shotguns. But in Fortnite, shotguns were more powerful than they had been in any other game. So the few people that were really good at using shotguns were absolute gods at this game. They would just demolish their competition. I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but that was kind of like me before they got rid of double pump. Go watch the videos if you don't believe me. Go watch my old videos. Heck, watch them now. I still use the shotguns from time to time, even though they're trash now. So anyways, those two things made Fortnite so great, but for some reason Epic Games is deciding to diminish their value, diminish the effect of them, diminish their skill gap. And I don't really know why. My only theory is that they see more immediate dollar signs by noobs having more success at the game and thus spending more money on skins and stuff. But in the long run, if they don't listen to the feedback from the elite players, Ninja, Tfue, and people like that, this game is going to die out, because ultimately that's where its success came from, is people watching the big time YouTubers and streamers. And if they're sick of it, like a lot of them are becoming sick of it, then it's going to die. So let's get into these changes that Fortnite did to somewhat ruin their game. The first thing they did that I remember a while back is they nerfed the shotguns. Plain and simple, it just made it do less damage, less accuracy, and have less range. And so, I mean, that kind of sucks, but whatever. I just got to get a little bit closer and aim towards the head a little bit better. No big deal. Then they add this Tommy gun, this LMG before the Tommy gun, this light machine gun. someone can start building a really good base, but some noob can get their LMG that holds 100 bullets and just start spraying the base and destroy it. So that kind of sucks. Then they add a drum gun, which is the same thing, but is an even bigger wood, brick, and metal melter. This thing just destroys any build, and on top of that, it destroys people too. I mean, really skilled players are elaborately building their way out of tight situations, but any noob that has his drum gun, you just don't stand a chance against them. It just sucks. It just totally ruined the building aspect. And then the worst thing they made might have been after that, getting rid of double pump. Despite all those changes to make the building and to make the shotguns less effective, at least we had double pump. At least if you get close enough right next to somebody and you have your 2 pumps, you can just flick your fingers really fast and get 2 shotgun shots to the face and probably kill the guy anyways. But then they added a delay. So once you shoot a shotgun and you switch weapons, you can't even fire another shotgun for like another 1.25 seconds or something like that, thus making the shotguns unusable. And so now those are not the only changes. I don't feel like going through the rest of them though. But basically, to make a long story short, we're at a point now where good players cannot use their building prowess, because if any noob has a drum gun, LMG, or P90, they can just destroy the build from the bottom and probably get a few hit markers on the player at the same time. And B, someone who has really good aim with the shotguns, it's now worthless because their shotguns do no damage and they have no range, even to the head. Oh, and then Epic Games tries to overcompensate by adding this stupid new shotgun, this double barrel this stupid Call of Duty style shotgun that does 143 damage to the body. They're ruining the game, and there's no other way to put it. It's just what's happening. I kind of hope Call of Duty takes over Fortnite for 2 reasons. First of all, I'm a little bit better at Call of Duty because I played it a lot more than I played Fortnite, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for my enjoyment in the world. And then B, which is kind of I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a more selfish reason. Obviously, all the big YouTubers that play Fortnite, they got the punch before I did. Ninja, Myth, Tfue, all them, they got big because they were on Fortnite right when it came out. I didn't start playing until March. Hey, look, I just won. But they started playing back in October and September, when it came out. I didn't start playing until March, so I was way too late. And if Fortnite keeps going big, then I'm still too late. It's over for Fortnite. But if Call of Duty starts taking back over, I believe that if I can get in on the punch right when it starts, I believe I can catch my big break, you know. So anyways, that right there, in a brief 8 minutes, is the spray meta for you, and how I think it's ruined Fortnite, and how I think that for the long-term success of their game, they better do something about it right away. I'm going to start playing the Black Ops 4 beta pretty soon, I think, so be on the lookout for that. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all want to see any more videos like this, be sure to leave a comment, and your boy Ali out.